Alright, guys, so today we have one of the final fights in the first round of the Swordsman tournament that includes Kenshin Himura from Ryoti Kenshin, one of my favorite anime I ever watched as a kid, versus Silver Samurai, the mutant samurai from Marvel Comics. Real quick, going over the basic rules. Stats are equalized, AP is equalized. Kenshin, his sword typically has a dull edge. It will be sharp in this so that he's a lethal duelist. As well as Samurai can't use his mutant ability and he won't have his armor. So with that being said, I'm going to go over Kenshin first, then Samurai, and we'll determine who moves on. Now, Kenshin Himura was one of the most accomplished samurai of his time. Kenshin was called the Manslayer and was especially dangerous with his Hiten style. This is a form of kenjutsu in which the focus is blazing speed to take out foes as fast as possible because back then in conflicts, oftentimes he was outnumbered and would have to fight accordingly. Kenshin plants his feet on his form so powerfully that he cracks the tile underneath him. This shows how hard it is to knock someone like him off balance given the power in his stance. His style includes striking the ground in order to barrage opponents with rubble and dirt to either harm or distract them and to give him the advantage in the duel. Kenshin will intentionally create gusts with his powerful sword swings that can either knock away weapons or confuse his foes. Kenshin will use acrobatics and insanely high jumps to gain momentum and come down on his opponents with powerful slashes. He has insane willpower in combat. This showed when he got pinned by a massive man and fought the restraint of the giant. This was crazy because at the time Kenshin was heavily drained but refused to stop. Kenshin is so experienced that even if he cannot see you, he is still quite capable of dodging you. This is almost pure animal instinct at this point and highlights how sharp his instincts are as the duelist. Even against faster duelists, Kenshin can adapt and overcome. This is especially impressive since he is normally a speed duelist himself and he's overcoming a fellow superior speed duelist. Kenshin was somewhat able to handle the Kimbui. This moveset is unpredictable and strikes 3 times at once. This also shows Kenshin's vast knowledge on sword fighting and Kenjutsu specific moves as he identified the moves early and acted accordingly after. Kenshin is an experienced defensive duelist. One of the moments showcasing this was him defending against a whirlwind blade style and not getting overwhelmed by the rapid movement. He is a known user of the flash step technique. He has used this even effectively when he was injured. Kenshin has shown that he is perfectly willing to eat a direct shot if it means he can land an even more vicious counter. Kenshin has displayed his versatility in Kenjutsu by striking up a defensive-oriented stance that a basic swordsman can't even identify because it's that unique. Kenshin truly is one of the best duelists of his time and can change styles mid-fight with master tier fighters and still come out on top. Kenshin knows a disarming technique that out of 500 Kenjutsu schools, only one shows it. Clearly, Kenshin knows most, if not all, of Kenjutsu. Kenshin completely picked apart 4 experienced swordsmen at one time. They didn't even know what he was really doing to them, and he blitzed them and picked them apart. Kenshin finally has shown that he has the prowess and talent to copy a move after only seeing it once. On the other side, we have the Silver Samurai. He is a mutant samurai from a famed village in Marvel Comics and is most often affiliated with Wolverine. Harada aka Silver Samurai is capable of attacking opponents despite them being faster than he is and them possessing precog. In a fair fight, Wolverine actually doesn't fare very well against Samurai in terms of martial prowess. This is impressive given how experienced of a fighter Wolverine is. Samurai is capable of stalemating Wolverine in a duel. What changes is Samurai easily switches tactics and bodied, even stabbed, Wolverine. Samurai is capable of taking extreme amounts of damage before going down. Discipline is obvious given his samurai training. Samurai once absolutely thrashed a cult that was featuring each member being armed with a sword themselves. He was once called the most skilled swordsman on Marvel's 616 Earth. Samurai has absolutely bullied Wolverine in sparring matches, where swordsmanship is the only factor, and Wolverine rarely kept up and constantly was getting beaten down. One of his most impressive dueling feats, Samurai was able to defeat Baymax. This bot was programmed with every fighting style that the creator could find, yet Samurai was too skilled. It is implied that Samurai knows moves that aren't officially documented. Samurai faced off against a set of black samurai. He is tired and they're enhanced warriors, but he still is able to come out on top despite their seemingly precog. Now, after going over to both fighters, who do I think will win? Now, this is arguably the closest round we've had so far, as both are very fundamentally sound duelists. As far as fundamentals and, who I think is a more seasoned duelist, or at least skilled swordsman, maybe Silver Samurai, but Kenshin fights weird, and he has certain techniques in duels, like his gust attacks that he generates with his swords, and using debris, striking the ground, all this. I think it would be a bit annoying with Samurai. Wolverine kind of implied that Samurai wouldn't do very well against cheap forms of combat, or, those striking the ground and using dirt methods of combat would throw him off. So as a result, it would be very hard for Samurai to get around that. And I think Kenshin's blitz style, coupled with this, and his built-in second attack with his one-shot blitz, eventually would lead him to take down Silver Samurai. However, I do believe he comes out of this heavily damaged because this is a super close fight. Anyways, guys, let me know what you're thinking. I enjoyed making this one. We're close to finishing the first round of the tournament and moving on. Anyways, like, subscribe, and comment. It's been your favorite villain, and I will see y'all later. Peace.